Hey, Miguel Arati, welcome back to the CRP, and we're looking at odds for this weekend, Saturday, May 18th, and we're looking at the UFC. The UFC is in Rochester. This is being labeled ESPN plus 10 for the UFC at the Blue Cross Arena, and we've got odds for you. ESPN plus, check your local listings at night for start time. You got to give them some kudos. In the afternoon, they're going to have Billy Joe Saunders versus Shafat Isufi. That's a world title action at 168 pounds in boxing. Joe Saunders undefeated at 27-0. Billy Joe Saunders, rather, undefeated at 27-0. He had a nice showcase in North America against David Lemieux where he outclassed him by a good bit. Hasn't been back since. We haven't seen him in North America, and he's been fighting against lesser opposition. Here is Sufi. Not a big challenge for Billy Joe Saunders, but you can catch that in the afternoon. Back to the UFC on ESPN Plus odds. We're going to look at the main card here, and we've got bantamweight action of 3 rounds with the ladies. Aspen lad, a minus 320 favorite as she takes on Sijara Eubanks. Eubanks paying back at plus 260. The over-under is 2.5 with the over at minus 240 and the under at plus 200. Always interesting when the ladies make the main card, and we'll see there's another fight that's in play there, but I went with Aspen Ladd and Sijara Eubanks for the odds review. More action with the odds in the lightweight division. Nik Lentz taking on Charles Oliveira. I believe this is the 3rd time these guys are going to meet, and bottom line is that Oliveira minus 355 favorite, Lentz plus 295. Over-under, it's a 3-rounder. With the over-under set at 1.5, the over at minus 130, and the under at plus 110. Middleweight action, we've got Antonio Carlos Jr. taking on Ian Heinisch, and the bottom line is Carlos Jr. is a minus 185 favorite with Heinisch at plus 160. Heinisch a late replacement. The over-under is 1.5 with the over at minus 150 and the under at plus 130. Moving into the welterweight co-feature bout, we've got Vincent Luque taking on Derrick Krantz. Luque also facing a late replacement in Krantz. Luque a big favorite at minus 1,000. Krantz making his debut, plus 560. The over-under 1.5 with the over at plus 125 and the under at minus 145. And in your main event, the welterweights, is a 5-rounder. Rafael dos Anjos, Kevin Lee, practically a toss-up fight. Over-under set at 4.5 with the over at minus 140 and the under at plus 120. Kevin Lee minus 105 right now. Dos Anjos minus 115 right now. So, like I said, practically a pick-em fight for Rochester. The weigh-ins are in the books. Nobody had any problems making the weights. And right now it looks like everything is on course for the UFC Rochester. It's going to be interesting to see Lee and Dos Anjos. Dos Anjos on a 2-fight losing streak. Lee moving up to welterweight. And, the loser of this fight is going to have a hard time getting himself back into the title picture. So we will see. I may be joined by Devin Miller later in the evening or tomorrow morning for picks. I'm Miguel Arati for the CRP. We're looking at the UFC in Rochester, the UFC on ESPN plus 10 this Saturday, May 18th.